Discussing the debate over what extent the founders were influenced by Orthodox Christianity or deism. This is from Darren Stoloff's article, Deism and the Founders. Another author who's contrasting Stoloff is Gordon Wood, and he said the relation of religion to the American Revolution has always been a problem. We sense that there should be a relationship, but we are not at all clear as to what it ought or even to be. First, let's talk about what are the two sides in this debate. You have one side claiming that America was founded as a secular nation under the ideas of Enlightenment rationalism, separation of church and state, the absence of scripture and founding documents, deistic terms to refer to God in the Declaration, and all these are coming from the 17th and 18th century European movement of the Enlightenment ideas of deism, where there was a focus on free thinking and the religion of nature. On the other side, you have those claiming that America was founded as a Judeo-Christian nation. Some examples that they cite are congressional prayer, national days of prayer, and God is the source of unalienable rights. Now, secularists, they claim to look at a couple A-list founders: Franklin, Washington, Hamilton, Madison, Adams, and Jefferson. These people, according to John Butler, says that if these people embraced deistic principles and their writings, ideas, and policies flowed from rationalist thought, then the founding principles drew more from the Enlightenment than Christianity. So he's looking at these specific founders. The traditional Christian worldview, on the other side, is going to claim that the Great Awakening spurred evangelical anti-authoritarianism, providential view of history is influencing the founders' ideas, and that the face of the founders were Christian. Staffold says it must be both. So one of the things that he looks at is the difference between European and American deism. So English deism, many of the deists used it to hide their atheistic beliefs. So they were secret atheists, they were feared of being persecuted. It wasn't a unified system, there's a lot of spectrum between them. Their basic ideas are that there's a creator God, but he doesn't reveal himself. American deism, on the other hand, says that it was mostly private beliefs of the wealthy, elite upper class, and they believed in a transcendental God, immortal soul, and they claimed Jesus is the first great deistic preacher. So these men in America, for the most part, they were not anti-Christianity. They were just looking at it in a new approach, more focused on reason, less focused on miracles and prophecies. Benjamin Franklin said that deism was a means of combating dogmatism and superstition in established Christianity. So he's not really attacking it, just reforming it. Stoffel looks at the evidence of deism in the founders. So he says that these A-list founders, there's very slim evidence that they were radicals. For example, Madison's just a lapsed Christian. Hamilton, he's not very fervent or orthodox. Washington, he just doesn't say his ideas clearly, but his proclamations and his announcements are clearly showing a belief in a God. He looks at also Jefferson and Franklin as those are the two that are considered the most radical deists, but they're actually not attacking Christianity. For example, Jefferson is a moderate deist, and he's actually a Unitarian Christian in the 1790s. Ben Franklin, in his youth, he's very anti-Christian, but he made peace with religion, and he remained a moderate deist throughout the rest of his life. David Holmes notes that these men were men of a different stripe. They were not necessarily traditional Christians, but they were not anti-Christian, certainly very different from today's evangelical Christian. So as tempting as it is as Christians to claim that America was founded on Christian principles, there's certainly truth to this, but it's our duty to examine what extent and research documents and what the beliefs of the founding fathers actually were.